Hello, 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 everybody. We're waiting for a little while to give people the last opportunity to join. This webinar will be given in English, as you might have heard already. And that is because we have some international attendees. And for replay and later usage of this webinar, it's also better to have it in English because we're reaching out across the borders and actually manage to get some stuff done. Yeah, let's give it a short moment. Welcome, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the interactive sets. One second, am I going to start? Yeah. Some people I know they will be watching later. The other people I see joining. Yeah, this is great. Any questions? Don't hesitate. Put them in the chat. I also will be working on my second screen, so I'll be watching a little bit up. I made a small checklist of things I want to address today. So I will be watching this paper also a little bit, just to make sure that everything I know that you need to know is said and taught today. So again, welcome. Today we're going to talk about the usage of our newly added interactive sets in LesLinq. And as you can see, I'm excited about that because that gives you so much more. It saves you so much time when building new stuff, and it makes things just really fast, look really well, and work really well. So we're going to focus on the interactive sets and the usage and the three main points you have to keep in mind when working with them. And I'm going to elaborate a little bit about our possibilities regarding sharing of your project, download, and embedding an iframe. It's also a question we get a lot. And of course, like I said, don't hesitate to ask your questions in the chat. And then without further ado, let's share my screen and show you the good stuff. Here we go. So, as you can see, I'm in my canvas in my dashboard, sorry. And here I see all my canvases, all my projects, and I can just, I made two for the occasion, the interactive sets, webinar, mobile and desktop. And I left them from the start as they are, as if they were just created. So first of all, you can find the sets in your section interactive sets. You can just open, click the button interactive sets, and there they are. We have placed them in all the accounts of all our users, and they're easily accessible. And to use them, it's just a matter of drag and drop. But give me 1 second. There are three things important when using those sets. One, manage your canvas size. So make sure you have the right size canvas and you turn off navigation. Let me show you. Right now, we're going to make something that will work on mobile best. So choose whether your users are using mostly their desktop or tablet or their mobile to view LesLinq. Of course, they work always on all devices. So don't worry. It's not so that you have to make a definite choice. But most of our clients know most of our users are on desktop or most of our users are on mobile. If most users are on mobile, you can choose to have the LesLinq function in another dimension. Like instead of landscape, 16 by 9, which is the desktop best version, you can choose portrait, 9 versus 16. And then you have your canvas in a mobile version, in a mobile layout. Like I said, manage your canvas and turn off navigation. So you go to navigation, you turn the navigation off. You can leave it on. If I have 2 pages and I do the preview, I have these navigation buttons. So I can go to the next page and back. But usually, most of the time, you want to be in control, and the sets are built so to give you that control, so you don't need the built-in navigation, because sometimes you need people to move away from a page pressing a button and not the arrow to go to the next page. So point 1, manage your canvas size. Point 2, there are 3 points in total. The placement. So now I've chosen my canvas size, which is mobile. Then you can look in the section for the interactive sets, and all the sets that work best on this size. The portrait 916 is the top portrait one. Start with mobile. So you have a mobile logo and payoff. Boom. You can just place it. And then maybe, let me just add some pages. Then I could take another one like a logo with a home button. Maybe I want that always. If you want it always, you can also place it on a master page. Instead of a normal page, go to a master page. Place the home and the logo. There you go. And then on the normal page, you can double click. Let me remove it here, I think. Yeah. You can double click and you can say master page. Oh, sorry, I didn't place it. 1 second. There you go. So now I have a master page with a logo and a home button. Go back to my normal pages, double click and say, I want that master page to run on this page. So you can use a master page as a layover with all the actions and animations working as a layover on a normal page. And let me create a normal page. Let me get a background image, create new folder, webinar. Yeah, let's just call it webinar. Confirm. I'm immediately in that folder. Choose an image. This occasion I will use Unsplash. Lately I'm a bit into lamps. Portrait, lamp, just anything. I like this one. I really like that one. It will automatically pop on your canvas. You can remove it right there and go to the image in your uploads library. Click the dots and say use as page background. Go to the page and say fill screen. Boom. Now you have a beautiful page with a logo and a nice home button that's dropping in. And for easy, to make things easy, I can just duplicate this page. Let's just use this as a basis for what I'm about to show you. And of course, it's handy to give them a few titles. So I'm going to name this one 2. Let's say, let's keep it easy. It's 3, 4, 5. Let's not take this too far. But I need titles, or else it will be very hard to assign those actions later on. I think this will be enough for now. Let's also name the first one. Yeah. So you have the startup page with the logo thing. And we're creating our first page. So to make things easy, I also put an interactive set in here, just being navigation. So if you want separate navigation on a page, you can just take this navigation set. Placement goes with the alignment buttons. You can horizontally center it, the group, and vertically center it, then it's nicely placed. And then we come back to the, so we have point 1, manage your canvas size, point 2, placement, and then ungrouping. So if you want to use a set, if you're using a set, so let's create our first page, getting this beautiful set in, horizontally center it. I like the placement. To make it function like it should function, you have to ungroup it. And you can simply go to the properties panel and say ungroup. And now it works as it should work. So if I preview the page now, nice animations, etc., etc. And what you don't need, these are sets that contain everything there is to use, sort of. So you have a button, you have a YouTube clip, an image, some text, and a header. You can copy those and throw away what you don't need. So if my first page is about some text or contains some text and an image, I can just simply remove the YouTube, remove the button, resize the shape a little bit, and with Shift button you can select multiple layers. So I can just take them, and then with the arrows you can move it, and if you hold down Shift, move real fast. So I can give it a nice centered position, and there I have it. To adjust it, simply double click to adjust the text. Same with this. And in a minute I will show you how to adjust an image. Another important thing to know is how to manage your layers. So if let's do something else. Let's take a set with an icon which pops up some stuff. So this is an icon with a pop-up button, image, text, header, and a closing cross. If I go to my layers panel, I see only one layer on this page. That is this group. To look what's inside the group, you double click on the group, and then you see the separate layers. You can also select multiple layers by holding Shift, and maybe regroup those if you want that. That's possible. To get inside that group, you double click that group, and then you're inside that group. But like I said before, to make things function, you have to ungroup everything to make it work properly. Ungrouping is Shift Control G, or always at the properties panel. You can just click ungroup. Let me see. So I have this group now. Shift Control G, or on Apple, as I am, Shift Command G. Now it's ungrouped. As you see, if I go back, click outside the canvas, you can see all the layers here. I see a question from Timo. If it's possible to make multiple master pages? Yes, it is. I can just simply copy it and have another master page with maybe some extra stuff. You can go back to the pages and say, oh, have that other page. You see? Now the other master page is running on this. And that's very powerful. This is really useful. Back to the other one. Now I'm showing the page. This is an icon in the top, in the bottom. If I click it, everything pops open, and I can close it off again. 1 second. Yeah, there it is. Some stuff is not showing right. I don't know why. Let me, for easy, now remove this. Oh, and show you, show layer management. I'm checking my list now. Oh yeah, and for these key commands and those combinations like Shift G, everything, you can go always to the website, LesLinq.com. We have a frequently asked questions section, and here you have also the keyboard shortcuts. So if you want to know more about that, there they are. You can always call me. So back to this. 1, manage your canvas size. 2, place your set and ungroup it. And then 3, the adjustments. So adjustment, I showed you a little bit already. If you double click text, you can adjust texts. Double click. You can pick them up, put them in a different place. For shapes, click on it, and resize it, replace it. And then if you then maybe want to adjust this image, you click on the image, go to your properties screen, make sure you have a new image to replace it. So let me just grab something again from Unsplash. This is more like a landscape thing. A lamp. It will automatically drop it on your canvas, so you have to remove it. Maybe we're about to change that, but for now, select this image, go to my uploads, and double click, and it's replaced. And like I said, it's including all the animation that was put on it. So it has a nice fade in, etc. That's how to replace an image. Let me now show you how to change an action. So let me grab a question set. This is like a header with 5 buttons. And that header, of course, can be a question, ungroup. Here it goes. Oh, here goes the question. And then we have answer 1. So you double click, you have the button text, you can adjust that. Answer 1. And then maybe if somebody clicks on answer 1, I want to give them some feedback on that answer. You always use a separate page for this kind of stuff. Mostly you use new pages if you want to show some new content. So answer 1, let's take page 4 to give feedback on that answer. And for feedback, right below the question set, there's a pop-up set and also a pop-up YouTube set. So you can also make a YouTube movie run after the answer was clicked. But for now, let's use this pop-up. It immediately pops open Ungroup when you enter the page. So let's just say this is the correct answer, or just say correct. Then explain or give some feedback on the answer right there. Some feedback on the answer, and maybe add an image. Why not? Adjust it a little bit, make it nicely placed. Yeah, for now, we can make this look a little bit better, of course. I'm not really a designer. I'm a content creation specialist. Don't confuse that with being a good designer, but still, the sets will give you this freedom to make things look good. Now we're gonna change the action. So if the button is clicked, in the sets, everything is set up, but still you need to give the tool the direction where to go. So if you click on the mouse click, or you double click the button, and action on mouse click, you go to view, you click open the keyframe, it starts right away, and then you adjust it. It navigates to a page. So in this case, the answer, when it's clicked, I want it to navigate to the feedback page. So the feedback page is number 4. And I want no transition animation. You can do that, or it's totally up to you. Confirm. And on the feedback, I might say, when you close this view, it has some animation. So at the end of the animation of closing everything off, we have put a navigate to any page action. And we can say, then navigate back to the question, or to the next page, whatever, that's your call. Confirm. And now we've built a question with feedback on answer 1. And then you're back at the question. So that's how replacing an action works. Replacing an image I showed. Now I'm going to show you how to replace an icon. So you have, I tried to put all the different combinations, possible combinations of content and icons and buttons in those sets. So for instance, I already showed you before, an icon with stuff that pops up. Let me horizontally and vertically center it a little bit lower. And group it. And you can replace this icon. There's a very large library. So you click on the icon, open the properties panel, go to elements, and access your icons. You can search these icons in English. So I can just type anything, play, and I can just double click to replace it, just like with an image. So if I want to have this button there, double click, there it is. I can also make it bigger, place it in a different place. And then we have this, bloop, bloop. A nice icon pops open. I can also place it behind, place it anywhere. Great. So that's how you replace an icon. We put the same sets in there. So you have an icon with button, image, text, and the closing cross. You have an icon with the YouTube. It immediately starts.
We are living in a digital age where hybrid...
And what's important to know here is if you open up this group, let me place it in the middle, ungroup it, and show you the layers. There's actually a really neat trick we used to prevent people from clicking on the YouTube movie to go to YouTube. And that's placing an invisible shape on the video. So you have the video, and right on top there's an invisible shape. So that prevents the user from clicking on the YouTube logo and then leaving the LesLinq, right? So always keep that in mind. Most of our sets contain this anti-shape click, shape anti-click. So if you move it, please just select everything and then replace it. So the layer stays on the place where it should be. That's that. Yeah, this is, yeah, I also made a pop-up with an invisible shape for you to use. So this is a set, ungroup. And then you have this shape. This is invisible. You can use this invisible shape to make anything in the screen clickable. So I can just place it here on the lamp and preview it. And now if I click here, you see the mouse changing into a hand. Now this is clickable. So you also have this invisible shape to make anything on your screen clickable. Again, what you don't need, simply remove it. Resize it a little bit. Hold Shift, select everything and make it pop up there. Now we have it there. You can adjust the animation if you want, or the source of the transform. So now it pops open from the middle. But you can make that the top left corner. Now it pops open, as you can see from the top left from there. So you can make those small adjustments to your personal or client's taste. Okay, let me quickly show you how to adjust YouTube. I already showed you a little bit. Maybe we can go back to the YouTube one. Yeah. Layers, select the YouTube movie. And here you can edit the URL. So you can just change the URL. And, okay, you can maybe add a segment. So you can crop the video. Just add and say, I want it from 0. You have to, those are 6 digits, seconds, minutes, hours. So maybe I want this movie to start at 10 seconds and make it run to 13 seconds, 15 or 16. And you say save, boom, and you have cropped your movie. You can also add stuff on the timeline of the movie. Right now it shows the shape, and on the end it closes everything off, so you don't get the recommendations to other videos. And here you can also add actions which you want to happen. Please make sure that if you do that, if you change the segments, you also have to sometimes adjust the time on the timeline. So this anti-shape click pops in after 0.1 seconds. If you start the video on 10 seconds, and you have to change this to 10.1. That's just how things work. But you can add a time frame and say on 13 seconds, I want maybe navigate to the next page or the previous page. Let me show that and slide from top, confirm. So what I quickly did now is we have the YouTube movie. It runs from 10 to 15. And on the timeline, you can see that on 13 seconds, it goes to the previous page. So if I preview it, I'll click it open.
Engage students. Online learning content needs.
Boom. There you go. There was that icon thing. As you see, it's if you get the hang of this, you can work really fast and make beautiful stuff. So 1, manage your canvas size. 2, place and ungroup. And 3, adjust. That was the 3rd point for today. I showed you how to adjust the stuff. And then with adjust comes the possibility, which is so cool, to save the adjustment again as a set. So maybe you have a client who is really into another color scheme. He likes the color red or orange, or he has, of course, his own colors. You can just adjust the set according to the style of the client. Change some colors. Maybe change this closing icon. Cross. Is it a cross? No, it's X. X. Let's just go X. Let's have this This one, different icon. He likes that. Maybe that also goes into a different color. An image is adjusted. Just anything, really. Then you can go to your layers panel or just click everything you want in the group with the shift button and say, okay, this is my new group. And then go to your properties panel, group selected elements, give it a name. So shape, pop-up, green, and say create interactive set. Boom. Then when you go to your interactive sets, it's right there. So if I have a new page, I can reuse this. This is the power of LesLinq. This is what makes you happy. And just to state it, LesLinq is fun. Because of this technology, it makes it so much more fun to work with. So that's the thing I wanted to show today. And of course, I showed everything in a mobile canvas. We did the same for desktop. So for desktop, if you start a desktop thing, go to your size, make sure it's landscape, 1920, 1080. 80% of the screens worldwide have this dimension. Turn off the navigation, go to your sets, and look for the desktop page, desktop home logo, desktop navigation, the desktop pop-ups, center it, ungroup it, boom. How nice is that? It's in all your accounts, so that's cool. So you can build your desktop LesLinqs like that. Small thing to adjust, to add, you have this startup thing. So you have a shape with a logo. Maybe I want a background image. Let's use this one. Use as page background. Go to the page, say fill screen. So it's screen filling. Then we have this. It pops up, but then nothing happens. That's because there's no action to the next page. The page itself also has a properties panel with a timeline. So I can go to the page, timeline, add keyframe to say when do you want this to happen. I want this to happen at 2 seconds. Add action, navigate to page, next page, and maybe slide from the right, or actually slide to the right. Confirm. Preview the project. Give it 2 seconds, and there you go. And there comes the next page. So, small lesson in the timeline. Everything that contains actions also has a timeline. A video has a timeline, audio has a timeline, but also a normal button. If you have like this button on mouse click, what happens also has a keyframe. You can add after 0 seconds, something happens, but you can also say, I want something to happen after 3 seconds. Add action, change property of maybe the image. I want the image to go away, confirm, action, or save. Preview, I press the button now, boom. After 3 seconds, the image disappears. So you can have a timeline everywhere. It's important to know the timeline for the page. Double click the page. Make sure nothing else is selected, by the way. Just click outside of your canvas a few times, double click the page, and adjust the timeline. So that's pretty much information for you guys, I think. I can show you a small example of something we did for a client. Then you will also recognize the sets. For Tata Steel, we did some safety minutes to have their employees learn something about safety around very hot burning metal. Preview that. So you have the splash screen. It's in Dutch, or translate a little bit. 2-minute learnings, okay. And as you see, those are all those sets, you know, a header with the shape and a button. It's about the 5 commitments, okay. Why are those things here, the 5 commitments? That's a rule thing. This is just a header with 2 buttons. And if I press the button, I come to the next page with a pop-up. It says correct. And another one. And a button. You recognize the sets right now, right? You have the logo and the home button in the top. What is dangerous? A small YouTube clip.
We werken met 1600 graden en dat is natuurlijk altijd gevaarlijk.
He says we're working with hot metal, so that's always dangerous. We repeat that, okay. And then we give them those rules. Listen, check it out. It's an image with a shape and a pop-up, and the button, we can give that delay. So you can say, okay, the button only comes into play after X amount of seconds to make sure that the attendee or the trainee has to take some time. Okay, well done, micro lesson, done, more. Then you can even watch some more stuff. This is exactly the set, right? Nice. We can close that off. And to show you, you have this this thing, yeah, the commitments. You can just have this button on initial animation, have a delay. It slides in from the button in 1 second after 9 seconds. So if I want people to hang on this page for 20 seconds, I can just change this into 20 seconds or 5 or whatever, you know. You are in control. That's why you turn off navigation, by the way. The last small thing, sharing of a project. You click on share project. This is the link. This is live. You can share this link via WhatsApp, SMS, email. If you share it from within the LesLinq system, like if you add people with email addresses right here, sorry, then you can have some information about when the attendee has opened the lesson and closed it, so you know how long people have worked on the lesson. So that's available in the analytics part of LesLinq. And you can embed the project as an iframe. So then you get this iframe link. If you make sure your website is able to run an iframe, and you can use this link and it will run perfectly. Small example of that is on our website. If you scroll down, this right here on our homepage is a LesLinq. This is clickable. This just works. So this is the example of an iframe. I'm clicking this right now. There's boom button. As you can see, super smooth, works like a charm. So that's an iframe. I'll play it. Okay, cool. And the third option, for the create and integrate license, you can download the project. You can just click on it and it will start downloading everything that's in the package. And then you can even run it offline or place it on your website, full screen behind the paywall, etc. Are there any questions? I've been doing a lot of talking. I was very happy with my list. If there are no more questions, Timo had a question about multiple master pages. That's possible. And I'm sure some people also will check in later to watch the replay. For now, I want to thank everybody for your attention. We think LesLinq is really nice to work with right now with those sets. You can just let me enter the you can just build up your project so much faster, and because you can resave your sets, you can make them personal, and you can even make them more animated, or just adjust them to your own needs. And before I leave you, I just want to say, you can also ask us to help you. We're a production company, so if you need a certain set of sets or you need something adjustments, you can just ask us, and we can always help you with that. So thanks for your attention, and if you need me, give me a call or an email. I'm always available, and hope to see you soon. Thanks. Bye bye.